Want to give you guys a quick heads up that the PlayStation Plus free games are live right now, as well as Ratchet and Clank, and that is free for everyone, so you can download that whether or not you are a Plus subscriber. On top of that, speaking of the Plus games, one of those games you will be getting is Final Fantasy VII Remake. While that is not upgradable to the PlayStation 5 version, we do have some details on the PlayStation 5 enhancements and the Yuffie episode, so we'll talk about that. And Aliens is back with a video game entry. Aliens Fireteam will be coming this summer. More on that at the end of this video. But first of all, the PlayStation Plus games, make sure you add all of these to your library. Farpoint, Remnant from the Ashes, Maquette, Final Fantasy VII Remake, all of them, if you are a Plus subscriber, which I imagine the majority of you are, they are free for you as a subscriber, so go add them to your library, even if you have no intention on playing them right now. If you add them to your library, you'll have them forever. And then with Maquette, even if you don't have a PlayStation 5, add it to your library, so ultimately, when you get a PlayStation 5, you'll be good to go. Outside of that, haven't talked much about the freebie in Ratchet and Clank. That is the 2016 title. Very nice of them to offer this for free as a part of their stay-at-home initiative, play-at-home initiative. This is the 2016 game, and ahead of the release of Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, I think it's a great time to offer Ratchet and Clank. I love this game. This is a ground-up remake of Ratchet and Clank, the very first game. This was released right around the same time that the movie came out, I believe. The movie was not that well received, but the game itself is awesome. Great visuals. The particle effects are fantastic. It retains all that quirkiness, zaniness that you know and love out of Ratchet and Clank, but you also have that excellent platforming. Story is solid, and it is free for everyone. You add it to your library, you own it forever, and you'll really enjoy the game. And if you've never played Ratchet and Clank, this is a great starting point. You'll play it, you'll probably really like it, and then you'll get super excited for Rift Apart, which is coming out June 11th, if my memory serves me correctly. But yeah, definitely add this to your library. You're going to enjoy the game, and then if you are a Plus subscriber, all of those other games, Farpoint included, even if you don't have a VR headset, I imagine that a lot of you guys are going to be picking up VR 2 when that comes out in 2022, so you'll have Farpoint ready to go. Quick overview on the Plus games. Farpoint, pretty rough around the edges, one of the early VR titles, but still a decent playthrough. Remnant from the Ashes is really good with friends. Highly recommend you to tell your buddies to download this and then go jump on that. Maquette obviously dropped today, but 20 bucks, and as a freebie, that's quite nice. An FF7 Remake, one of my favorite games of 2020. Moving on from that, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming out in June as well. We got some updates on the PlayStation 5 upgrade, and it's noted the expressive power of lighting, textures, backgrounds, and more have been enhanced for the PlayStation 5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Several new elements have also been added, including the ability to switch between graphics mode, which prioritizes 4K resolution, and performance mode, which prioritizes smooth operation at 60 frames per second. You've also got a photo mode included to capture in-game scenes, a new episode starring Yuffie as the protagonist, and more. Now, the Yuffie DLC is going to be a $20 additional purchase. However, users who own the PlayStation 4 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake outside of the Plus offering can upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version free of charge. It's 100 yen for Japanese users, so I don't know what's that all about. The new episode starring Yuffie requires a separate purchase, and again, that will be 20 bucks. Save data from the PlayStation 4 version can be carried over if you want to do that. Lighting was noted to be improved all around, from towns to fields, and more fog effects have also been enhanced, creating a more realistic atmosphere in Midgar than ever before. Textures, the resolution of some textures have been upgraded, depicting the world in more detail than ever before. We also got photo mode as well. Again, with photo mode, you can position the camera as well as adjust the angle, colors, exposure, and more to take the perfect screenshot. Performance mode and graphics mode. In performance mode, the game prioritizes a stable 60 frames per second frame rate. In graphics mode, it prioritizes high resolution at 4K. So should give you an indication that 4K 60 FPS, I've said it over and over again, but 4K 60 FPS is going to be something that is going to be really hard to maintain in a lot of games. I mean, FF7 Remake is a last generation title, and you're not getting 4K 60 FPS in it. I remember when we were talking about the PS5 and people were talking about, 8K games or whatever, and I was like, yo, you guys are out of your mind if you think a $500 box is running games at 8K. That's just not going to happen. High-end video cards that cost, you know, upwards of $1,000 have a hard time running at 8K. So just, you know, keep your expectations in line with the $500 box. I was saying that from the get-go when we talked about the PlayStation 5, and when information was coming out and people were memeing about 8K, or they weren't even memeing, they legitimately thought they were going to get 8K video games, and I was like, yo, you guys out of your mind? Maybe you can play some 8K Pong if that's what you're into, but 8K God of War Ragnarok? Yeah, I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one. Okay, also we got some details on the new episode starring Yuffie. Some great images, concept art, I should say. Looks really, really good. It notes, in the disorder of the Mako Reactor 5 explosion in Midgar, Wutai Shinobi operatives Yuffie, a girl wearing a Moogle cloak, and Sonon, her reliable partner, maneuver behind the scenes under secret orders. Their target, the ultimate materia developed by Shinra Electric Power Company. With the cooperation of Avalanche HQ, they set foot into enemy territory for revenge and to restore the glory of their hometown. Guided by the planet's tears, the gears of a new fate begin to turn. Has some concept art of Yuffie Kisaragi as well, so you can check that out. Yuffie was an optional character in Final Fantasy VII. I believe you just got her by, like, roaming around. I got Yuffie in my playthrough. I never really knew what exactly you had to do to get Yuffie, but, like, if you just explore the game, you randomly meet Yuffie, and then you add her to your party in the original game. Sorry, spoilers, my bad. But yeah, seeing Yuffie get her own episode, really exciting, and hopefully that means Vincent's gonna get fleshed out in Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. Fingers crossed about that, because Vincent's story is kind of wild, and it wasn't really explored in OG FF7. Obviously, we got Dirge of Cerberus, which wasn't the greatest game in the world. To see Vincent get his shine in FF7 in this remake iteration, I'd be all over that, and hopefully that comes to fruition. I like Yuffie, excited that we're gonna get a couple chapters with Yuffie, but I definitely want to see Vincent's character get fleshed out as well. In the new episode, Yuffie and company's activities take place over the course of 2 chapters. The Wutai Shinobi who infiltrated Midgar colluded with Avalanche HQ and the attempt to steal the ultimate materia from Shinra Electric Power Company. So again, this is due out June, what is it, June 10th, I believe? Yeah, June 10th, and yeah, 1080p 60 FPS, or you can play 4K, and I imagine that'll be 30 FPS. The pre-order is live right now. It's $70 if you just want to buy Intergrade straight up on the PlayStation 5, and then again, I believe $20 for the DLC. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a quick heads up on a new game announcement. Aliens Fireteam has been announced for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It's a cooperative third-person survival shooter due out this summer, so this isn't the ideal Aliens experience that I would have liked. I'm not big into survival shooters like this, but we'll see how it turns out. I mean, cooperative games is definitely something I'd like to see more of, and you know, it's something I think definitely has an appetite and people do want to see more of them. We'll see how it turns out. The About section and key features note, the Ultimate Hunt play a pivotal role in the epic events that occurred 23 years after the original Alien trilogy as a colonial marine station aboard the USS Endeavour, battling terrifying threats. Survive the hive, customize your fire team, and the game is due out this summer. PC, X1, PS4 series, and PlayStation 5. Visually, the game looks really good, and I imagine that, you know, as a cooperative experience, it will be solid. I would like to see more Aliens in terms of video games. I think the IP has a lot to offer in terms of compelling games, so we'll see how that turns out in the future, but this will be dropping summer of 21. So that's going to conclude this video again. All those plus freebies are live. Ratchet and Clank, get that for free right now. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, excited for that. I mean, you know, I'm excited to jump back into the game, but I'm a Final Fantasy VII shill. Like, when we talk about Final Fantasy VII, honestly, you guys gotta realize I'm gonna be incredibly biased towards it, because I'm a gigantic shill for Cloud and his crew. Aliens Fireteam coming summer of 2022, so you can look forward to that. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.